Hello guys, this is my first legislative video. I will show you how to do a refero. Referrals are basically when you remove something, add something, or change something in a law. We're going to take a random law here to show it better. So what you're going to do when you get on the law board, you just open it up, you take any of these laws. Let's take vague voting for example. Yeah, so you go here, copy, choose the board that you use personally. Mine is called JV Workspace. And you can move it around when you're inside of the board itself, but me, I selected early on. So I'm gonna write it as laws to write. Then you click Trello up here, JV Workspace, and then you should see it where you selected, laws to write, vague vote. So the first thing you have to do is rename it right here, Refero 2 dots, and then you get to work. So one of the things I like to do is fixing the format a little bit. So for example, everything is bolded for some reason. I think that's a bit unnecessary. Okay, so let's start. What I do first, every time I go through legislation, I read through it so I get like an idea of the law itself and just make sure that I know everything in it to make sure nothing contradicts. Okay. So I've just read through it, and there are a few things I would like to change. I saw right here, it shall fall under the Princeps Senatus and/or Procurator Luris authority to remove any voting that fails to provide a reasonable answer for it. I don't like how it's worded, but that's not my focus right now. I want to fix this entire thing. I think it's very vague how it's explained. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cross it all out, and I'm going to skip a line here so I can have space to write it. And you can just write whatever you believe should be written instead. So for example, I'm going to write here. Alright, so if you look here, instead of this, which is worded in a weird way, I added it will be the responsibility to those holding senatorial imperium to enforce this legislation within the Senate. I'm removing where it says just these people because anyone with senatorial imperium is allowed to do this. I just fixed this so it doesn't contradict the Constitution. And also I made it a bit easier to read. Just for example, if you look here, and/or Procuratus Luris authority to remove. I don't like reading that. Alright, let's move on to the next thing right here. Any other form of vague voting not directly stated here will be up to description of only the Princeps Senatus. So again, I don't believe this is right because it's called Imperium for a reason. So I would write here to the discretion of anyone with senatorial imperium. And then you code it. Make sure you code it, because if you don't, they're not gonna allow your law. This section right here, I don't really like it. I don't even understand it, to be honest. It shall fall under the Princeps Senatus with the approval of the Procuratus or Imperial Command authority to remove or suspend any member of the legislative bodies that fails to adhere to this law. This makes no sense to me, so I'm just going to cross it out completely. And then right here, I'm going to remove the 4, turn it into a 3. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. Remove the 5, put a 4. Alright. Next. Yeah, see, I like this one, so I'm not going to change anything. And then here you can see abstaining without proper reason does not count as a vote. This shall be enforced by anyone with senatorial imperium. And I don't like when they use the word shall. I prefer when they use the word will. It's just more clean. Alright, so this section is good. I've already referred this part like a lot of times. I think I've done this law like 3 or 4 times because I keep seeing stupid votes and then I add it. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do a refero. And then make sure you sign your law. So right here, you would remove your old one. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do, but it's fine. You just rewrite it. And I like to write how many I did it. That way it is all good. When you're done with this, you are going to copy the link, and then in the government server, you will see for the plebeian council, there's a channel named plebeian legislation. you post a link and press enter, and you ping the plebeian tribune. And for the Senate, you will go in legislator proposals, and you just post a link, enter, then you ping Princeps Senatus and Procurator Luris. And then that gives them a notification. They will post it here, and then you will have your legislation posted up in here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything you need to know about legislations and how to do a Refero specifically. We'll be making another video on how to make a law from the ground up.